Okay, so welcome back to Vir. This is another episode. We have Mia with us today.
Hi.
Hi, Mia.
Hi.
Mia is one of our customers, and she's been a customer for 2 years now?
Correct.
2 years. Okay, so we wanted to have you on just to kind of talk to you about your experience, what it's been like since you've went solar, what your bills look like, what your savings has been. But let's first start off with just what had you interested in going solar?
Well, it took me a while to understand about solar. So I did some research and then, I delayed for a couple of years on it. I wanted to watch and see if the cost would come down, if I eventually wanted to sell my home, would that be enhance the price or whatnot. So I finally contacted one of your reps, and
Okay.
they came up and explained it to me. Of course, I had to think about it again because the, price, as you're a retiree, those are the things that you consider.
Right.
But I also think that if everybody has to invest in a home, hopefully one day, and this is a huge investment, and that's something that you need to consider. And so I thought about it, and of course the sales rep came around again.
Okay.
And I said, okay, sit down and go over it with me very slowly. And I'm a numbers person,
Okay.
and I wanted to see exactly how much it would save me on a month-to-month basis.
So when you saw the savings, when the rep laid it out to you, did it make sense to you?
A little.
A little.
A little, but the first time he came around, he explained it. But then when he came around the second time, that's when I really went slower over the numbers and made sure that I understood it.
Okay.
And there was a huge savings.
Okay. So how was the process?
The process was very easy. I filled out the credit app. He wrote it up. My credit was approved, and within 3 weeks, I believe, I received the solar panels.
Okay. So 3 weeks from the time you signed up, 3 weeks, panels were on your roof.
Correct.
How did the installation go?
Great. They were there when they said they were going to be on time. They put up the solar panels, and from there, it probably took maybe 4 or 5 hours. I think I wasn't home that day.
Okay.
And they cleaned up. They told me they were leaving, and that was that.
So
The one thing that was the longest was Nevada Power.
Oh yeah, Nevada
Of
Energy for your
Yeah.
permission to operate, right?
Exactly.
They take a little while. So
Yeah.
that was probably 2 weeks after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they didn't tell me they were coming, and then all of a sudden I noticed, oh, I'm hooked up.
Oh.
So
Okay.
said, okay, so that was the only issue that I had.
All
with
right.
it.
So let me ask you a question. So since then, what have your power bills looked like?
My power bills have been $13.11 a month.
Okay. All right.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. So all of that savings is in there.
Yes.
So as people have gotten their increases, you're still paying just your monthly pay. What's your monthly payment?
For the solar?
For the solar, yeah.
It's $250.
$250. And that's because you have a massive system, right? You have
Exactly.
What size is your system?
13,
13 kilowatts?
13, 14.
So that's big. That's over double our normal size
Yeah,
of
I
system.
believe our average is 6.5 this year.
Yeah,
I think our average is
6.5.
6.5.
Yeah. So why do you have such a big system? How many people live in the house?
6.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. You're using power.
We are using 2 dogs, and
Okay.
everybody has a computer, everybody has a TV. The washer and dryer goes. It's
Well,
all
with
of that.
6 people, does the washer and dryer ever stop?
No, no,
Right?
no, it does not.
We have 5 in our house. We have 5. Yeah, 5. That's a lot of people. We have 5 in our house, and I swear that washing machine, it's a never-ending pile of laundry.
Yes.
Ever. It's just
Yes.
constantly doing loads of laundry.
Yeah, they need to figure out a way to have someone
There
wash
is.
it and throw it into the dryer, fold it, and all that.
We talked about this. So check this out. There is.
Oh yeah,
there
the
is.
laundry service.
Yeah, so there was a laundry service that Thad's boy put us on, and they charge like very cheap. It's like $3 a pound.
A pound.
Yeah, they pick it up from your house. They wash it, dry it, fold it, or put it on hangers if you provide the hangers and bring it back to the house.
Oh, that's a business I could get into.
Right?
Right? Think about how much time we waste in our lives doing laundry.
Whole
Is it
days.
worth? But so when we talked about that, so Jax, I went in and I just looked at the pile in my laundry room and I was like,
Yeah,
at
how much?
$3 a pound. I got pounds of laundry in my laundry room.
Oh,
Pounds. Maybe I just have them do the clothes and I do all the towels and sheets and shit like
Yeah,
that.
you eliminate like or
Yeah.
you do don't do the clothes.
Well,
I was-
and I'm a
have them
firm,
do my clothes.
I'm a firm believer that you have to have a big laundry room, not these small laundry rooms that these homes make. It's you go in through the garage and you're hitting someone's door. Just a second, Hate
How
it.
big's your laundry room?
Oh, it's probably half the size of this room. Yeah, it's small. It comes in, and then you go in and out through the garage, and the dryer's right there. And I don't know how many, scratches I have on the door from that.
So I will tell you something cool. So my buddy Daryl, who lives in Arizona, he did a custom house.
Hmm.
He has his laundry room, but in his master bedroom closet, he has a full-size washer and dryer.
Oh yeah, I'm.
Wow.
Like literally, he
Oh,
just
yeah.
does his laundry in his closet, hangs his clothes up right there. Like
Perfect.
I walked into his closet and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? This is the best thing
Ever.
This is the best idea of any home I've ever seen ever in my life. A washer and dryer in your closet."
Yeah, the guy's
Yes.
a legend.
Yeah, he is.
Forever.
Yeah.
He's very smart when it comes to stuff like that too.
He's very convenient on how he moves.
Yes.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. So back to solar.
Okay.
So, how many people have you recommended to Vir?
I've recommended 3, but unfortunately, due to the COVID, they couldn't, their main household income had to go to their
Oh.
bills and stuff like that.
No,
so,
no. I got one from you.
Oh, you did?
Correct.
Which one?
DeBetta.
Oh, DeBetta, yes.
There you
yes.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Nice.
I forgot about her. Yeah.
So, would you recommend Vir? You obviously have 3
Yes.
times.
Yes. Yes, I would.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Our whole goal is to get people to recommend us. So, my question is why? Why would you recommend us?
Because I believe in the product now.
It took a minute, right?
Yeah, it took me a while, but yes. And I mean, there are many solar companies out there, but I only talked to one rep, which was Jackson, and I knew from there that I wasn't going to not get the product. It just took me some time to, wrap my head around it.
That's great.
So I feel like people have a massive disconnect between like the benefits of the industry and the people that are in our industry on the solar side. I know, obviously, you know where you guys lived. I've been there quite a few times. I've ran into a couple of solar guys in that actual territory, in that actual hood. What made our company stand out from the rest? Because I'm sure you've had your door knocked on multiple times.
Well, they did, and they were very aggressive, which I didn't like. They wouldn't leave the door when I said, "I'm really not interested." But ma'am, can we, just give you a 5-minute orientation about it? I said, "I don't need a 5-minute orientation." So it was something that I wouldn't get into with any other solar company. Now, when you came to the door, Jackson, you were very respectful. You had all the information on your shirts, your hats, and you weren't pushy.
I think
Yeah.
that makes a big difference.
I've ran into that so much.
Yeah.
It's that thing that, that not pushy statement, or what you said, they were very aggressive. Like that word, I feel like is associated with our business, and it really shouldn't be, because the people that are aggressive are the people that don't they don't do business.
And we've talked about this multiple times, right?
In
That
our trainings every day.
yeah, that if you either understand solar or you don't.
It's very simple.
You're out there just trying to find people who are interested in solar. Why sit there and battle at the door with somebody who's not interested, and why be that person? You don't have to be that way.
When I can go to the next door, find somebody like Denise, and she's
Yeah.
going to be like, maybe. I'll come back in 2 weeks.
Be nice, be respectful, and people will like that. People don't like to be pushed around. They don't like
do
it.
business
No.
with you. They
They don't like
appreciate it.
They don't like it.
No, and they don't, and I don't like people coming to the door who don't represent their company. They don't have their hat on, their shirt on, or they're
Badge,
scruffy
cards.
looking.
I
They're
understand.
not professional looking. No polo shirts, no nothing. That
ID badge.
exactly. That's when I back off because I look, in this day and age, you have to be very careful. And so I look out my windows, the dogs are barking. I can tell, I have many, what are they, AT&T and all them come to the door, and they aren't half as respectful as your company is.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's awesome. It's good feedback to hear from customers out
Okay.
there. That means the reps are doing what
And
they're
there's-
supposed to do.
Yes.
Correct.
That's good.
I don't know. The solar market is very interesting on how, client relations really translates to massive amounts of referrals. I'm not really in the field a whole lot anymore. When I was, obviously, when I met you, I would say the best at what I did, definitely, in Vegas, or I'd put myself, neck and neck with whoever thought they were. But the one thing that set me aside from everybody and why I got more referrals and I didn't have to go out and self-generate business is because people enjoyed being around me. It was just very easy to go and be the alternative that everybody had always ran into, the aggressive solar guy that wouldn't leave their
Exactly.
door, badgered him, would never shave his beard, like just look not presentable.
Right?
And then I come
Correct.
in completely different, flipped a perspective, and some of these people are already educated. They already know what's going on. They just needed the right person to hear it from. And I don't know.
You think that's one of the things that we do that's so different is, like, when we talk to a customer, we're like, hey, let's just see if you qualify for this. Let's get your information. Let's throw a design together. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like,
That's
you don't have to be you just don't have to be that way.
That's my tie down.
Well,
Yeah.
and I truly believe, people do know about solar, but it's the numbers. When they come in, people are, let me back off here. What is my savings going to be? In my head, after I ran the numbers, I figured, well, when you average it out for a year, you're good.
You're saving money.
You are saving money.
And that's the whole point and that's the thing that separates us from a lot is, listen, we're not even going to come and sit with you unless we're able to save you money.
Exactly.
If you're not saving money, then what's the point? What's the point of doing it? So I love to hear customers when they call me up after everything's in and they're like, oh yeah, I had my connection fee, $13. Like,
Awesome.
that's awesome, right? Because it lets us know that we did our job,
That's right.
that we saved the customer money,
Mhm.
the install was clean, everything was good. Now they're going to refer us to somebody else.
Very simply, what we do works.
Yeah.
There's nothing more I can, want to hear other than they showed up on time. They did what they said they were going to do. They were quick, efficient, respectful, cleaned up their trash. System got installed. We're good to go.
Well, and the one thing I do have to say is that when I did my taxes last year, at first I wasn't sure. Jackson was, telling me I would be getting a huge rebate back, but I did get my rebate back.
Well, I didn't say rebate.
Well, not rebate.
Tax credit.
Tax
Tax
credit. I'm
credit.
sorry. Oh my God. But I did get my tax credit back, and I turned around and put that money on my loan.
Perfect.
Because, I know
You want to keep that payment low.
exactly. And plus it was COVID time, as everybody knows, it was coming up. And I didn't get my taxes done on time like I normally do. And so COVID was here, and I could have taken that money just like I'm sure other people needed it to live on. And,
Yeah.
but I put it on, and yep.
There it went.
Brought it down.
Perfect. I love that. So speaking of things that are new now, so I just read this today that so the Biden administration is shifting so far into the Green New Deal that what they're predicting is because he wants to go zero electrical grid by 2035.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
But here's the issue that folks are going to run into. If they're not going solar right now, that what's going to happen is the normal 3 to 6% increases in power bills, that's going to double. That's going to triple.
We're going to become
Because
California
these
across
power
the
companies, these power companies know that the government's pushing them to go green, so rates are going to go through the roof. Because if they have to create more solar fields, wind farms, all that stuff to
Costs
be
money.
green, it costs a whole bunch of money. And who's going to pay for that? Not them.
Taxpayers,
Nope,
buddy,
taxpayer.
clients.
Yes.
They're gonna up the charges. So there was this huge article I read today about how energy rates are gonna go through the roof. And what's awesome with Mia, you're out of that ball game.
Thank God.
You don't have to deal with it anymore.
Right.
But for folks who are thinking about going solar, they've got to really start looking at it right now because the rates are going to go through the roof. And the sooner you get into solar, the sooner you get those panels on your roof, the sooner you take yourself out of that rate and start saving money today.
Correct. And who wants to pay a $400 or $500 electric bill in the summertime? You know, there's a lot of homes out there that are 3 stories,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know how they afford it. I don't know how they afford that at all. I mean, I coughed when mine was $350. What?
Well, and think if it goes up 20% over the next couple of years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody who had a $400 bill is now going to have a $550 bill. Like, that's crazy. So, that's why what we do, that's why Jax are so passionate about what we do, is we want to get solar panels on as many houses as possible.
Oh, that's a great idea. I think
That's what we wanna do.
I hope more and more people pay attention to the environment because of solar.
Right. Agreed.
Absolutely.
So I have a question. Hearing what you said obviously I talked to you 2-3 times before we actually sat down and went over some real literature and numbers over what solar was. The time we sat down, instantly you made the decision to swap that day. But I've talked to you about it 2-3 times before then. And I feel like a lot of people are on the bridge between, they've talked to a couple people, but they've never actually sat down and seen what solar does on paper. And when we sat down, you said you're a numbers person. Obviously, we talked about what you did for a living before this. We know you're an educated woman. So when we sat down at the table and I brought you those numbers versus what the power company was going to charge you with a modest 3% rate increase, which is not what NV Energy is doing out here.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we butcher them every time, and I have a hard time understanding why some people decide to not make it or make the swap to solar. And my only understanding would be they just don't get it, really.
I think
does that make sense?
I do. It does. It's educating yourself on it. See, I've read about it. I noticed, out in, State Line, they built all those solar panels out there. It's slowly coming in, slowly you think about it, I do read up on how it works and stuff like
You've
that.
had your door knocked on 65 times.
Yeah, it's that initial cost, up front, and it really didn't hurt as much as I thought it would.
Question. You said upfront cost.
Meaning, solar.
You mean like seeing the number? Because
Yeah.
there is no upfront
Yes,
cost. You
seeing-
mean like actually seeing it visually on the
Yeah,
paper?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you explained that if I ever sold my home one day, that I could include that as, an extra or whatever then
So
I thought,
I just did
Yeah.
the math because we were talking about that, and
Right.
so many people don't get that. But at a 13 kilowatt system at $4 a watt, that's $52,000 worth of equity you've added to the house.
exactly.
And so if people can just get a moment to sit down and go through it, because you see, okay, I'm saving money every month, and I just added $52,000 worth of equity to my house, like, why would you not do that?
Because in the past, Thad, you couldn't use that as equity in your house.
No, you're right. In the past, you couldn't do that.
And
you're right.
so, as Jackson explained, what is it, about a year or two now, you were able...
Appraisers now know what they're doing.
Exactly. And so I think that was a big determining factor for me, that, you know, I could add equity to my house, and then at some point I could get my money back, which through monthly bills I have.
And not pay a power bill.
And not pay a power bill.
So you eliminated a power bill.
Yes.
And you're not going to lose because you're always going to get your money back on what you paid for the panels.
Correct.
So literally you just eliminated connecting with NV Energy.
Exactly. And I think that's what people don't understand. And Jackson had to explain it 2 times for me before I put my name, signed my name. I wanted to really understand it, and I'm glad I did it.
Well, I'm glad that we train our reps in a way to where they're not pushy, and they will literally take the time to sit down with customers and explain it to them thoroughly, transparent.
Correct.
That's one of the things that I'm
Yes.
hardcore with all of our people here, is that we are transparent with everything. And you don't sign on the dotted line until you know everything, so that customers really can wrap their head around why going solar is so beneficial, you know?
Yes, I'm sure Jackson was a little disappointed in me the first time he came around.
Super disappointed.
Walked out of the house, but I told him, I said, you know, I have to run the numbers. I have to, you know.
Especially with a 13 kilowatt, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm sure that was a decent
But
commission.
do you remember what
for
I
him.
told you?
Which,
I told you. I said I'm never coming back.
yes, he
I said
did.
here's NV Energy's numbers, here's my numbers, I will never come back.
That was on the last one?
Not coming back.
I
So
be-
either we
and
make
I
the swap,
believe,
or you just don't get it, and I completely respect it. It's okay to not get it.
I
it
believe
really?
I
No.
was your first customer, I believe.
Oh, 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she was my first customer. It was very interesting to see somebody finally get it, that's educated and understands. Sure, you don't understand solar, but you understand finance, right? You understand money.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah,
numbers
absolutely.
person, which 90% of people claim that they are, right?
Yeah.
Numbers people. Oh, we'll see. Because when we sit at the table, the people that are really numbers people,
Get it.
the finance managers I've done business with at Lamborghini, Audi, and Henderson, all the GMs I've done business with at pretty much every car dealership in Vegas have all seen the numbers, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they deal with numbers for a living. They run interest, they sell loans. They do the same thing we do just for a car. To see it on your power bill versus what NV Energy is going to finagle out of you
Yeah.
over till you die, you're going to pay the bill till you die. It's the numbers people do get it. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a numbers person. I don't get it. Probably aren't a numbers person.
Probably not a numbers person. Well, Mia, I'm so glad you came in and visited with us.
Thank you for having me.
I think you informed some people, and that's all we're trying to do with this podcast, is really just get information out to people so that they can make a decision. Whether they go with Vir or they go with somebody else, the more people that get solar, the better it is for us, the better it is for the environment, the better it is for customers. So
Yep, you
we're
just have to take a deep breath and say, okay, I'm going for this, and there you go.
I love it.
You'll be fine. You'll love it.
I love it. I'm gonna make you an employee. I'm gonna bring you. I'm just gonna bring you to every
a brand
single
ambassador.
close, and that's gonna be what you say to people. Well, you just gotta take a deep breath.
That's right.
You'll do it and you'll love it.
What's the
Gonna be
worst
our-
that can happen?
Right.
Right?
Not get a
Yeah.
power bill, right?
That's right.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. All right, Mia. Thanks for coming.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you for trusting me.
Yes.
Definitely. First one ever. It's been, 2 years?
2 years.
I love it.
Man, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.